So these are an E factor is maximum. Your there is a no waste and other thing. So basically, currently I think people are working to replace traditional extraction process. So design, development, and commercial green extraction technology, that is like supercritical extraction, pressurized liquid extraction, or accelerated solvent extraction, or ultrasound assisted extraction, and microwave assisted extraction. So basically, you can see the carbon dioxide as easily handled because in food industry that is a byproduct, like in your breweries industry or in ethanol production in sugar industry, that the byproduct molasses is converted to alcohol and other thing on value-added chemicals. So basically, there is a byproduct from the industry. So in 1 ton of wheat fermentation, like in Canada, I have seen that it gives around 320 kg of carbon dioxide per ton of wheat process, fermentation process. So that is a byproduct, and that byproduct can be reused in the process also. Like we are talking of the bioethanol and all that. So basically, carbon dioxide easily handle your critical temperature is 73 bar and critical 31 degrees centigrade. And world over, it is generally recognized as a safe solvent. Grass is there, non-toxic, non-flammable, non-explosive, odorless. It is environmental friendly, cheap, and easily removed from the plant extraction, your extract. And you can see that carbon dioxide has a your the three-phase diagram, the solid, liquid, and gaseous. So basically, there is a critical temperature. So this is vapor liquid equilibrium curve, pressure versus temperature. So basically, carbon dioxide has a critical temperature 31 degrees centigrade and critical pressure 74 bar. So below that pressure, you can liquefy the product, that carbon dioxide, behave like liquid. And above that critical temperature and pressure, it is behave like a solvent, but you can't liquefy the gas. So basically, the supercritical state, the solid, liquid, and gaseous phase. So if you see the vapor liquid equilibrium, that triple point here, minus 956 degree C is the your solidification point. So that if you see that in between the critical and all that, you have the liquid and vapor phase. So when gas and liquid are coexist, or if you increase the pressure and temperature, so at a particular point, your gas and vapor will disappear, and increasing pressure and temperature. So basically, because that above that point is called critical point, and above critical, if you increase the pressure and temperature, the state is supercritical fluid. So it is basically, you can see the solid phase. The in most of the molecules are in the compact form, and liquid state, you can see there is a gap in between. And at gaseous state, the molecule are more distance and all that. So in supercritical, if you increase the pressure, then most of the molecule will come closely. And if you increase more pressure, then it is behave like a liquid type of product, or liquid and solid gaseous. So basically, physical properties of the carbon dioxide or any gas, you will find the gas liquid in between gas and liquid. So because of that, it has a density in between gas and liquid, then viscosity also. So there is a can easily penetrate in the plant material, and there is a dielectric constant. So if you change the your solubility and other thing depend on the pressure and temperature, or you add moisture, it like we are using many co-solvent like ethanol, water, and all that. So it change the polarity, and you can isolate the bioactive constituent or any molecule. So basically, you can see the solubility of carbon dioxide supercritical. So yeah, highly soluble is your aroma, flavor, and all that at lower pressure, up to like liquid state and all that. like your aroma, terpenes and all that are soluble easily. Then moderately soluble is the low volatility terpene oleic acid like lipids and other things. So, and it is most of the protein, sugar, and polar constituent are insoluble. Oligosaccharide, amino acid, inorganic, and nitrate. So basically, in IIT Delhi, we are working on this carbon dioxide. So basically, initially we have designed a low liquid carbon dioxide extraction. Basically, it is a simple apparatus, pressure vessel designed up to 100 bar maximum temperature. And temperature you can take up to maximum 100 degree, the basic design of that 1 liter capacity. And here this made of stainless steel, and there is a bottom and top closure. And the bottom closure is closed with the seal O-ring. That's basically perbunan or polymeric type or Teflon type. And in the top there is a inlet for carbon dioxide. There is a pressure gauge, and there is a cooling finger. So in the cooling finger you can pass chilled water, because below 31 degree means you pass 5 degree, 10 degree water. So it cool down the carbon dioxide. So basically in 1 liter we require 200 gram of carbon dioxide, and you can put a glass system like this is a beaker, just like in Soxhlet apparatus we are using glass beaker, and there is a beaker for receiving, that is siphon system. So basically you can pass the carbon dioxide around 180, 200 gram, and you can put a plant material just like in Soxhlet we are using spices extract like cardamom, ginger, anything. We have done 35, 40 varieties of aromatic product. And we have published also, you can find in our publication. So if you put that spices or other thing, so you put it in the vessel, that siphon vessel. So that is with paper or just like in Soxhlet type. Then the bottom there. So after closing the whole system, the carbon dioxide, then you close the bulb, and then you pass the chill water. In the bottom generally we put 30, 35 degree, 40 degree temperature of water, hot water you can put it. So basically there is a, this system is work for extraction of liquid carbon dioxide. So as compared to steam distillation, here I think most of the aromatic plants, spices, oil, other thing, they produce by passing steam at 90, hot steam or boiler steam. So then you, after condensation, the essential oil separate and all that. So basically, subcritical carbon dioxide, generally they isolate most of the oil from the spices like cardamom and all that. So basically in condenser, we are putting 5 degrees thermostatic water bath. Then extraction, that the bottom is a 40 degree. So it evaporates the carbon dioxide, and again it condense. So basically in this system you can see that bottom portion is evaporator, this is extractor, this is condenser. So three phenomena is working. So basically we have done many extraction process. So you can see the liquid carbon dioxide properties with other solvent. Like liquid carbon dioxide viscosity 0.1 centipoles, then latently it is 42.4 kilocalories, boiling point polarity and all that, as compared to hexane, ethanol, methanol, acetone, and methyl alcohol. So we have compared many plant products like cumin, jeera. So in essential oil, it gives 4 hour, 5 minutes you can get 3% of essential oil from the cumin. In cardamom, small cardamom, large cardamom also we have done that you can get more oil. In liquid carbon dioxide, 3 hour, this is steam distillation process. So this is compared steam distillation. So the time requirement is less, energy requirement is less, celery, maize, then timur. So we have also scale up it up to 10 liter capacity. And later on we have done tandem process, one vessel to other vessels. And around 80% of your solvent, 70 to 80% solvent can be transferred from one vessel to other. So that we have done, and later on we have designed a liquid carbon dioxide plant in Baddi. So this is the only company in India they are producing hop extract, and I think India we are using in beer industry that flavor for beer. So this is transferred through TIFAC, Ministry of Science and Technology, and the financial assistance given by NHB, National Horticulture Board, Ministry Food Processing, and Government of Himachal Pradesh. So in supercritical, actually, there is many application like your coffee, tea, spices, vanilla, then extraction nutraceutical. Supercritical is also now used as a reaction medium in enzymatic catalytic reaction in food industry, the glycerolysis, esterification, and all that. Then gas assisted mechanical extraction to isolate specialty oil, flaxseed oil, sesame oil, moringa oil, then hibiscus seed oil and all that. And supercritical is also used in food industry for particle design, your encapsulation of food flavor, color, and other things. So in IIT Delhi, we have a supercritical unit. Basically, you can see the carbon dioxide in the vessel that is around 69-liter capacity vessel and 30-40 kg of carbon dioxide is stored in the vessel. So that from that vessel you can pass through the chiller, and after chilling that is passed through the high pressure pump. And this is extractor, this is separator, and you can put your plant material and after separate. This is automated system. So after that extract you can analyze or use for food. Even large scale plant are also running. So I have given some example of ginger, turmeric, black pepper, annatto, food color, paprika we have done in the lab. So basically, we are trying to develop green process for extraction of antioxidant, natural antioxidant from spices. So I'll give the two example we have published in many paper also. You can find that that antioxidant market is increasing day by day, and there is around 4.1 billion dollar market in future. So basically now I think the antioxidant are used from extraction from spices. So that synthetic antioxidant BHA, BHT, BHA, TBHQ, protein glycol, EDTA. So basically, there is a lot of scope in pharmaceutical, food, in other industry. And basically, you can see the natural antioxidant or phenolic compound. There is no health hazardous. Recommended dose is 200 ppm. Basically, in food industry, the BHT, BHA. And recently there is a controversy on basically it is produced from butyl hydroxyethanol, that benzene and all that is the raw material. So people are thinking that carcinogenic and other thing. So basically to isolate, because you can see the permissible limit of synthetic antioxidant are around 200 ppm in food industry. BHQ is mostly used in industrial scale and all that. So there is a lot of scope for utilizing natural antioxidant like turmeric, ginger, and all that. So turmeric has a curcumin, then your ginger has a gingerol. So there is a many product we can isolate from chili, ginger, then tea, and all that. So but India has a lot of potential. So we can develop this natural antioxidant industries and other things, spices, herb, fruits, vegetables, the byproduct of the food processing industry, then cereal, grains, oil seed, and all that. So basically, a lot of natural antioxidant we can use extraction process. So you can see the India major producing country of the turmeric. So you can the yellow portion we grow turmeric in most of the state, like you can see, and this is from spices board. Similarly, ginger is also produced in many states. So earlier we have got a joint project with IIT Guwahati and all that to isolate, because a lot of turmeric and ginger are going west because of the storage and other facility. So basically, you can see the India is the major producer of ginger, and around 27% of the India produced 27% of the global trade in ginger. And it is also mentioned in your our traditional Susruta Samhita in Charak Samhita. Then ginger contribute 49. So similarly, India also produce four varieties of tea: Kangra tea, Nilgiri tea, Darjeeling tea, and your Assam tea. So basically, the tea also produce a lot of this byproduct of tea industry. So that can be extracted by because polar constituent the pressurized extraction process. So we have done work on the extraction of natural antioxidant by using supercritical carbon dioxide, ginger, turmeric, and tea. Generally, we have done the pressurized extraction or accelerated solvent extraction process, and we have used in food industry. So basically, I think I have a time shortage, so I'll give you that. I will not give my detailed data because earlier I thought it is for a 30 40 minute, 40 45 minutes. So I prepare accordingly. So basically, we have extracted ginger of Sikkim, Assam, and all that. Then turmeric from Maharashtra, Northeast region. Then tea west from four regions and all that. And we have extracted by supercritical and all that method. And after extracting that natural antioxidant, we have tested with vegetable oil, the storage stability and all that in different process. So basically, we have done that extraction of carbon dioxide to isolate, and then isolate is used for DPPH, then all that antioxidant study. And the stability of the vegetable oil we have done by Rancimat study, the peanut oil, sunflower oil, and linseed oil. So basically, you can see that in ginger there is two products. One is the essential oil, can isolate by liquid carbon dioxide, and oleoresin by supercritical extraction process. And most of the ginger essential oil contain gingiberine, curcumin, bisabolin, geraniol, and all that. And we have done by GCMS process. And similarly, you can get the supercritical extraction process to optimize the 6-gingerol, the phenolic constituent from the ginger. And this can be analyzed by HPLC. So we have optimized and published also. Then we have done that phenolic test, total phenol content in different extract, the gallic acid, vanillin, myristic, rutin, and all that. And you can see the chromatogram of the product. So similarly, the ginger extract is tested, ginger extract by solvent extraction, ginger oleoresin, then ginger extract 1, ginger extract 2. Basically, this content more gingerol, we have optimized the process condition. And that similarly, we have done and we have filed a patent on the turmeric because India produce many turmeric, and turmeric we export lot of turmeric oil and oleoresin, then curcumin to other country, and there is a byproduct. After that, biomass is the starch. So basically, we are getting turmeric oil depend upon the geographical location. So around 6% is your volatile oil, and around 6 to 8%, even 9% curcumin is reported. So this is around you can isolate. So basically, we have done the patent. You can in industry generally they are doing solvent extraction process by using solvent, and that is they isolate oleoresin, and then from oleoresin to they make curcumin by crystallization process and all that. But what we have done in patent that we isolate by a subcritical liquid carbon dioxide extraction by supercritical method to isolate the essential oil from the turmeric, and later on after that the byproduct taken by the solvent carbon dioxide, then you pass the solvent like ethyl alcohol, isopropyl, and different solvent, and we optimize the curcumin isolation process and then characterize and use it for antioxidant. So first step we take out the essential oil. Second stage we use pressurized extraction. So we have designed same apparatus can be used for extraction of polar and non-polar because essential oil are non-polar. This is polar compound. Then your you can see the essential oil. Then this oil is analyzed by GCMS. Then you can see that solvent extraction, the supercritical extraction by using your co-solvent, because in Brazil and all that, they use carbon dioxide and alcohol to isolate total extract, but it require very high pressure. For industrial scale, it is not feasible. So because of that, we take first essential oil by liquid carbon dioxide, then you crystallize that extract to produce. So basically, pressurized liquid extraction here, the system is you can pass the solvent under high pressure. So this is the extractor, and there is a valve to separate the solvent. And here generally you can use ethyl alcohol as a boiling point around 80 degree. So you can take close to the boiling point and you use pressure to isolate. So basically, the curcumin we have done that isopropyl and ethyl alcohol, that 2:1, and we heat up to 60 degree 30 minutes, and we use pressure around 50, 60, 80 bar or different pressure, and then you take out the extract and you separate the curcumin from the process. And we have analyzed by HPTLC, there is a three isomer curcumin, D-methoxycurcumin, bis-methoxycurcumin. So basically your curcumin percentage is more, around 66, 67, and rest is your. So this is supercritical with solvent, then pressurized liquid and all that. So this is three isomer we have separated and analyzed by HPLC, then crystallization point, XRD and all that. So basically we have tested the natural antioxidant using that is antioxidant index. So that is concept. So you can see the BHT, BHA, and these are used in food industry. The similar pattern you can get from ginger extract and all that. So similarly, we have tested many essential oil, ajwain oil, then original from rice bran industry, that rice bran oil byproduct. Then ginger extract, the gingerol content 40%, the gingerol content 25%, and all the ginger extract. So basically, this plant extract can be used to replace BST and BHA. So similarly, in India, we have a lot of tea garden and all that. So tea byproduct is a potential, because in Northeast there's a lot of tea, and the tea content also we have isolated catechin, epigallocatechin, catechin gallate, all that. So using pressurized extraction using ethanol. So the same apparatus we are used, and we have isolated the green tea extract. And similarly, this tea extract, you can see the HPLC of that tea extract. So you can, of different four type of tea extract we have done. Kangra tea, that is Himachal Pradesh. Nilgiri is your Tamil Nadu area. Then Assam tea. Then Nilgiri tea. So and then your Darjeeling tea. So Darjeeling has a more antioxidant properties and all that. So basically, you can see the Darjeeling has a total phenolic content more as compared to others. The second one is the Kangra, then third one is Nilgiri, and fourth is Assam. Because you'll get green tea we are prefer for Darjeeling and all that. So basically, the optimum condition we have optimized by flow rate, pressure 150 bar and 75 degree. So similarly, we have done a lot of work on this esterification of your ester. Basically, in food industry, we are using flavor constituent, and they prepare by synthetic the immobilized enzyme and all that ester synthesis. So basically, esterification done with liquid carbon dioxide medium, and we have published also some paper. So different type of food, the ester, diacyl acetate, isoamyl butyrate, isoamyl propionate. So different type of geranyl acetate, terpenyl acetate. All these are use liquid carbon dioxide process, and you can produce. Similarly, this your monoglyceride, diglyceride, or food emulsifier. So that also you have published in paper. And one of our students, he tried to develop a process, because in a mechanical in India you might have seen most of the vegetable oil extract by expression oil expeller. And in oil expression process, lot of oil are left in the, so basically specialty oil and all that. So if you use carbon dioxide along with your pressure, hydraulic pressure system. So here in conventional pressure, just we are using mechanical pressure, but along with mechanical pressure and carbon dioxide pressure, so your more oil will yield, and you can get a better yield of the oil. So this is called gas assisted mechanical oil extraction process. So people has done in like your this is coca butter. So in the mechanical ordinary extraction process, conventional process and process, so you can see the coca flake that most of the oil is removed in the same process. So there is a lot of scope in extraction. We have published on supercritical extraction of flaxseed in food engineering, and in that you can get more omega 3, omega fatty acid, omega 6, and all that. So basically, there is a lot of scope, and now people are working on the nutraceutical particle design in the supercritical medium. So that is called rapid expansion in supercritical solution and gas assisted solvent. So basically, you can see the lot of product. This is I have taken from Germany. So the rosemary extract, green tea extract, apple flavor, black pepper extract, PGSS. Menthol from your because India is a major producer of mentha, so you can make new particle flavor by supercritical drying. That is a particle design to replace your spray drying process. So I think the large scale unit. I think I have given that many technical institute have a supercritical IITs. With most of the IITs has ISC Bangalore, UICT Mumbai, NIFT and Jadavpur. So IRA. So many people are have a supercritical CSIR labs. A lot of commercial scale unit. I think around 1920 companies are there in India. Indian Glycol, Dehradun, Nova Agritech, Samilab, Bangalore, Redana. So all that are doing. So basically, I think supercritical process is suitable as a green solvent extraction to replace organic solvent. And subcritical pressurized extraction and all that has a lot of potential to isolate extract for food industries and all that. And in future, I think gas assisted mechanical expression from seed will be a new technology. And supercritical fluid technology can be used for micro encapsulation of nutraceutical or cosmeceutical product. Thank you very much. Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your detailed presentation on supercritical fluid extraction in food processing. And it was really informative and nicely explained. Your work is uh, generating the framework for our new and budding entrepreneurship as well as young scientists and research scholars, sir. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you very much for inviting me, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
If anybody have any questions to ask to sir, you can proceed.
Sir, is any impact of supercritical fluid extraction in the modification of bioactive compounds?
Yeah, modification of bioactive conjugate, I have mentioned that enzyme catalytic reactions, no?
Yes.
Because we are also doing some development of food flavors by enzyme catalytic reaction process.
Actually, I
Using
must
liquid
say,
carbon dioxide, and time is less as compared to the normal enzymatic process. You require 24 hours the shaking method. But here you can get within 2-3. We are trying to develop a continuous process also.
Yeah, sir, but this supercritical fluid extraction having any negative impact on the characteristic of that bioactive compound?
Bioactive constituent like
Anything like a polyphenolic compound is there in a food?
polyphenolic compound are basically it is polar in nature, so you require pressurized extraction.
Yeah,
Carbon dioxide, if you use carbon dioxide, then you have to use your co-solvent that is called entrainer. But in a use of entrainer, it also require very high pressure. So because we have filed patent on that against the Brazilian process. In Brazil, in turmeric, they have used supercritical and ethanol. So it requires 350 bar or something. Above 300, you are getting the curcumin. But if you use a solvent under high pressure, so time will be reduced and your solvent consumption is reduced to 1/10. So it is economically viable to remove solvent and all the energy cost. Even you don't require very high pressure and all that. Plant cost will also reduce in the
yes, sir.
process.
Thank you, sir. Any other question?
Yes, sir. So carbon dioxide having like a low polarity. So there, so does that have any problem while using for polar compounds in plants? So sir, am I audible, sir?
Hello, sir.
There is some technical problem with sir, so we are proceeding with the next guest lecture. The next session is about food entrepreneurship. Food entrepreneurship is a complex and global collective of diverse business that supplies most of the food consumed by the world's population. In the term of food entrepreneurship covers the series of industrial activities that are directed in processing, conversion, preparation, preservation, and packaging of foodstuff. The next distinguished to honor us with his presence is Dr. R.T. Patel. Dr. R.T. Patel is a former director of ICAR Ludhiana, and he was serving earlier as a principal scientist at Central Institute of Agriculture Engineering, Bhopal. He obtained his BTech in Agriculture Engineering with gold medal from MPAU Rohari in 1977, followed by MTech with distinction from Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur in 1979, followed by PhD in Bioprocess Engineering from University of Saskatchewan, Canada, with the Best Thesis Award from Canadian Society of Agriculture Engineers, and finished his 2 years postdoctoral fellowship at WSU Plum, USA. Dr. Patel sir has so far developed 16 research prototypes, 5 process protocols, 3 pilot plant technology, 3 pilot plant level technologies, and contributed to 2 US patents with 98 published papers in national and international journals, and 57 presentations. 4 presentations received Best Paper Award in national and international seminars. Now I request Dr. R.T. Patel sir to take over the session.
Okay. I am audible. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. And now I will share my presentation.
Yes, sir.
And this is You are seeing this full screen, right? Oh, this is the
Yes, sir.
last slide. Let me go to the first one. Okay. Now I will be talking today about the entrepreneurial opportunity in food processing sector. Because when we look at the finished product, what we get in the market, like potato chips, you see that maybe some 10 grams, we pay $100, 100 rupees or something like that. And whereas if you look at the cost of the potato, it will be maybe 5 rupees, 10 rupees or 15 rupees at the max per kilograms. Similarly, when you look at the juices which are available in the market, we find that Tropicana fruit juices, they cost about 100 rupees a liter. And in that 1 liter, there may be hardly one fruit, which may cost 5 rupees. When this kind of value addition after processing is seen by the entrepreneurs, that creates a kind of curiosity and a kind of opportunity for the young entrepreneurs to come into this business and work in this. And there is a tremendous scope for this because multinationals have come into the country. They have added high value to the product, and because of that, the profit margin processed product is much higher. And that is why the entrepreneurs, they have now wonderful opportunity to go into the food business. Another aspect is because in rural areas, we know that India is an agrarian country. 70% population lives in the rural areas. And nowadays, because of the education has reached almost to the small towns, because of the privatization in the education, there are many universities and many colleges which are there in the towns. So getting a degree for the village youth is not that very difficult. But once he gets the degree, his degree is not that because of the very hard work, but because the college is nearby, he gets the admission and he keeps on passing. And in that kind of degree, he is not employable. He doesn't get the employment outside. And because of the degree, he doesn't want to go into agriculture because he thinks that agriculture is below his dignity. And this is the population we have now in the villages, which are our clients for going into the food industry or food processing businesses. And when we talk about the food processing businesses, I always say that the things we can do in the kitchen, the things we can do in the small laboratories, why do we need crores of rupees of investment? And somehow there is a kind of a trend has come into the country that we think about 2 crores, 10 crores, 50 crores investment in the food processing industries, and that keeps the small entrepreneurs away from it. But fortunately, very recently, the Prime Minister has thought about it, and he has come out with the small scale processing industries, the micro processing industries, and which will be costing about 10 lakhs or 20 lakhs. And these are the industries which can go into the villages, take whatever is produced in the village, get it, process it, and bring it to the cities and sell it at much higher price and share their profit among the farmers. Once that kind of thing is done, just a minute, I'm seeing that this is there. I want to get rid of this. I'm seeing this on the side. Okay, I think I cannot. Okay, let it be there. So this when it is processed in the village and it is brought to the cities, then definitely the value addition is there, and that value addition benefit, if the farmers get, entrepreneur will also be gaining in that one, and the farmers will also be getting the benefit out of it. Because when there is a processing industry established in the village, they will be depending on the raw material which is produced in the village, and definitely they will insist that they should get the good quality raw material from the farmers, so that they will ask them to clean and date that material for them, and that is how the better price will be given to the farmer. We have very good example of the milk. The milk, when it is collected in the villages from the farmers by that village dairy, which brings that milk to the city for processing, then that dairy pays only 25 rupees a kilogram or liter. Whereas if the 4 or 5 youths together, if they decide to market that milk, fresh milk, directly to the nearby towns or cities, they get about 60 rupees a liter price for that. So that means 25 rupees worth of milk in the village, just after 1 hour, when it comes to the city, it becomes 60 rupees a liter. That is the kind of opportunity we have in the food processing. We have to reach to the consumer, and from the producer to the consumer, there are many stages in between, and there are many middlemen. As we can reduce this value chain, or as we can shorten the value chain, the profit for the farmer will be higher. If you look at the Indian perspective, what is the production in India? The fruit production in our country ranks first in bananas. It ranks first in papayas. It ranks first in mangoes. The mango is considered as a king of fruits, and 40% of the world's mango is produced in India. 43% of the world's papaya is produced in India. 25% of the world's banana is produced in India. And India produces very unique flavored, aromatic taste and nutritional properties and health benefits of our fruits. And we produce all those fruits in this country. And those fruits are jamun, amla, bale fruit, pomegranate, custard apple, etc. However, we have large population in this country. We have only limited quantity of water, limited quantity of land. I think we have some 4% of the land, cultivable land of the world, and only 2.5% of the water of the world. And whereas we support about 17% of the world population, human population, and equal about 17 to 18% of the animal population of the world. And when we support that, we need food for that. And that is why when somebody says that we have very low level of processing in our country, so because we are getting everything very fresh to eat. And that is why most of these fruits and vegetables, they are eaten fresh in the season, and processing, they don't go for that much of the processing. However, low level of processing of the fruits and vegetables, it leads to the losses, because these are highly perishable commodities. Their shelf life is maybe once they are ripened, hardly in case of banana, for example, the ripened banana can keep only for 5 days or 7 days. If it is not sold during that time, then what happens is it rots, and that is what is the loss. Another thing is that fruits and vegetables, they come in 3 grades: grade 1, grade 2, and grade 3. Grade 1 comes from the table purpose. It gets good price, and the farmer sells it, and he is happy with that. But remaining portion of grade 2 and grade 3, it doesn't get any price, and that cannot be consumed also by the local people that much, and that is where the loss takes place. So that is why it is necessary that we should come out with the processing technologies, processing equipments, processing protocols, which are suitable for setting up the industries in the rural areas. Next. I already told you the losses. Why losses take place in these commodities that much? The losses are so heavy. For example, food grains, India loses about 10% of the food grains. Though we produced about 300 million tons of fruits and food grains, they are cereals, pulses, and oil seeds, but 10% are lost. That means 30 million tons are lost. In case of fruits and vegetables, this loss is about 20% to 30%. And the monetary value of this, it comes to about 1 lakh crore rupees per year. And if you want to reduce this loss, then it should be handled properly. And another thing is there should be processing available in the rural catchment. Handling of raw produce through many stages of middleman is the one reason because of which we lose our material or we waste our material. So for example, the tomato, when it comes from the farmer or from the field, and by the time it reaches to our plate, if the 10 people handle it, for example, the farmer sells it to the person who comes to buy it from him, or and Artiya sells it to the wholesaler in the city, wholesaler sells it to the thelawalas, and thelawalas then they come bring it to our place. So that means it takes so many hands, and definitely that food which is being handled, it's going to be damaged. Then low level of processing mostly in urban areas, which leads to wastage of valuable byproduct. Because whenever we have seen the processing industries for this, even for the cereals or for the fruits and vegetables, they are in the towns and cities. They are not in rural catchment. So what happens when it is processed here in the city, the byproduct which is there, which is very valuable as animal feed, it's wasted. For example, if somebody is having the dal meal in the city, whatever chuni, bhusi and husk comes out of it, he won't get much price for it, so he won't bother about it, and it will be lying as a compost in his compound. If it was done in the villages, then that could have become a very good animal feed. Same thing for green peas. For example, if the green peas pods, if they come to the city for processing, then after removing the seeds, the whatever is remaining, that is pod, that if had it been done in the villages, that would have been very good animal feed. But since it is done in the cities, so that doesn't come into any use, and it is thrown on the just outside, and it pollutes. And that is why it is always advisable to have these processing industries in the rural catchment. Non-availability of sufficient cold chain facilities. Definitely our country is a tropical country. Though compared to US and all those developed countries, we are much better in producing the fruits and vegetables. Those countries, you can imagine, when you compare ourselves with America, you can imagine the country which is 6 months under the snow, because they have a lot of snow there. With the country which is 6 months under the snow, how many crops they can grow? They can grow only one crop in a year, and that too the crop which can be just like it's cereals. They cannot grow the fruits and vegetables because of that snow. That means we are in such a nice position that throughout the year we can grow. We take 3 crops in a year. We have almost 200% cropping intensity, and we name the fruit, we grow it in this country. Only disadvantage which we have is because we are the tropical country, we are not the cold chain country. So like America, the whatever is produced, that is also during the cold season, and it is stored because it is naturally they have the cold chain available. And of course in the houses now we also have the cold chain available in the houses because we have a refrigerator. But non-available cold chain facility from the field to the people, those who are handling it, wholesaler and the retailer, till that stage, the non-availability of cold chain, it is the reason that our food gets spoiled. So we need to have the cool chambers and also the cold storage facilities. And when the processing industry comes up, definitely these all auxiliary things will come into establishment. Then non-availability of adequate equipment and machinery for small scale processing. That is also one of the drawback, because Americans, they produce only 4 to 5 crops. European also, they do the same. Whereas we produce hundreds and thousands of crops. Hundreds of crops when we produce, we need to, every crop has got different requirement of processing. And every crop has got different requirement of processing machine. Because if it is a cereal crop, of course, one thresher, if it is for wheat, it cannot work for the legumes, and it cannot work for the oilseed crops. For groundnut, the same thresher which we use for wheat, it doesn't work for that. So we need to have a separate thresher for these different commodities. Similarly, for fruits, for example, if you look at mango ki gutli kitni badi hoti hai, and if you look at bear, very small gutli in that one. So that means to removing the seed, also we need to have a different equipments. So adequate equipment and machinery for small scale processing, and we need to search on it. We need to develop the machines, and then we can promote the food processing in those areas for those crops. Okay. Then lack of facilities for training, incubation, and hand holding of entrepreneurs. When we see that there is a tremendous scope in food processing business, every youth or a young fellow who is coming out of the food technology college or engineering college, and if he is not getting proper job, he thinks that why can't I set up an industry? But will any other industry fellow allow him to mind his business, learn about hers? No, they will not. So that is why what we need is, we need to have a training, incubation, and hand holding facilities where these people can go, get 1 week training, work on those machines, and then take that technology from the institutions and go and set up an industry in the field. And that is how we have the institutions like CFET, we have the institutions like IFTEM, we have the institutions like IIFET, where these kind of facilities are available. If you are interested in setting up a small scale industry, and if you have something in your mind, and if they have ready-made technology in that, they will give it to you. They will allow you to get trained in their facilities. They will even allow you to manufacture on this kind of products in their facility and take it for test marketing. And now it is coming up. Of course, we will need many more institutions like IIFPT and CFET. Only 4 or 5 institutions for such a huge country, they cannot meet that kind of requirement. And that is why we say that food processing, though it is a sunrise industry, the progress is very slow, because we don't have these institutions, don't have these facilities. Though the people are interested in doing it, but their interest will be immediately after graduation. For 1 or 2 years, he may have interest in taking up the risk and going into establishing an industry, a small scale unit. But if he doesn't get any handholding or support during that time, then he will again go for a petty job, or maybe go back to agriculture and something like that. So here I have written that higher the processing. If we have higher the processing, there will be better post-harvest management. Because then when there are processing units, they require raw material from the farmers only. If there are no processing units, the farmer has to sell his produce in the APMC markets. But when he sells it to the processor, definitely the processor will give him little more price, and processor will also demand him the product properly clean, graded, and packed, so that he can just take it to the processing industry and further process it, value add to it. So lower will be the losses. If 3 things are linked together, if you have higher processing level, there will be better post-harvest management, and there will be very little losses. That is why nowadays you see the farmers' agitation is taking place, and this farmer agitation is because of the farmers' bills. But if we really look into the farmer bills, it creates an opportunity for the small entrepreneurs to enter into the rural areas, make an investment there, and have a contract farming with the farmers for the produce what they require for processing. And it is really gain situation for everybody. So far, for many years, our farmers were forced to sell to the people who were taking about 8 to 10% of the cut in their whatever money they were earning, and even they were not giving sufficient price. Even though MSP is not given to the farmers produce, for example, if the MSP, as they say, for bajra is 2100, and then bajra is, even then it is sold at 1300 rupees, and in that 1300 rupees, if somebody takes again the 10% cut, how much farmer will earn that? Farmer will be remaining poor only. But unless processing industries, they come in the production catchment and they buy it from the farmer directly, and when they buy it from the farmer, they will like to have the particular kind of variety grown for their processing purpose. And for that growing the particular variety, they need to have a contract with the farmer. So the contract doesn't mean that they are going to take the land from the farmer, but they are going to make a contract with the farmer that I am going to set up a tomato ketchup industry here, a tomato puree industry here. So I would like to have the tomatoes of these varieties. If you grow it, I'm going to buy it from it. And then when I buy it from you as an industry, if it is sold in the market at 3 rupees, definitely the industry fellow is going to pay you 5 or 6 rupees. At least double the price, or some percentage increase in the price will be definitely there if such kind of industries are established in the rural areas. So now, what are the advantages of putting up the industry in the production catchment? It can provide processed food of highest quality at affordable cost to consumers, because those are the small scale industries, and we have seen the price that 100 rupees a liter for a juice. And if this fellow, the small scale industry fellow, if they gives the juice of the similar quality at 50% price, definitely people are going to buy it from him. And that way, it at affordable cost to the consumer, they can get. Ensure traceability of raw materials used. Hence, the great for export and urban market. Because when we look at the food safety parameters, the traceability is one of the important factors. If the Americans, they want to buy food from you, they would like to know that where it is grown, where it was grown, how it was grown, and then who processed it, and all those details. And this is possible only when you have the small scale industry and when you contract with the farmers. Help effective backward linkages with farmer when they processing their raw produce. That means we always say that these processors, they should have directly backward linkages with the farmer. There should not be any middleman. But when it can be possible, only when then unit is in the rural areas. Shorten the supply chain. If you can shorten this supply chain, which is there in the present time, it increases the profitability of the farmer, and it is ultimately increases the GDP from agriculture. And there is a FAO report which says that 1% increase in GDP from agriculture has so much impact in reducing the poverty of the country, which other industries with 3% growth in their GDP cannot have. Having GDP from agriculture is an indication that your country is healthy. Reduce post-harvest losses and increase availability of byproduct for animal feed. Agro-processing and production catchment is also required because the food what we eat, because if you look at the crop which is grown, you cut whatever you harvest, it is 1/3 or 1/4 of that total biomass we grow in the field. If you look at the wheat is like this, and only that upper portion where there are seeds, you harvest it and you eat it for your purpose. And when you process it, that time also 70 to 80% of the processed product is for edible, our purpose, and 20% is a byproduct. 80% is the main product and 20% or 15 to 20% is a byproduct. 15 to 20% how it is? Because it is a husk and some seeds in some cases. And this byproduct, it has got tremendous use further for value addition. But since we do not have the proper processing industries, we cannot collect these byproducts also for proper processing. And one aspect or one use of that is for animal feed. But another use of that is processing it and get some valuable extracts from it. And that is what is called as a secondary agriculture, because the byproducts of main product, they yield some very valuable nutrients, and if they are extracted. But for extraction, you need to have proper collection of it. You know that rice bran oil, earlier when rice used to be processed, this bran was not properly handled, and the bran is full of oil because aileron layer, it has got the oil, and because of that it used to get rancid, it used to stink, and it used to go as compost. When there was proper handling of that rice bran, then stabilization of the rice bran, now we extract the oil from it, and people say that the oil from rice bran is much better in quality compared to many your refined oils. So that is what is the wonder of putting agro processing in production catchment. So these processing units, they are not very expensive, but they have a lot of employment. At CFET, we have conducted the study by taking the secondary data from a different industries department, and we found that each 10 lakh invested, we can provide 6 indirect jobs and 2 direct jobs. That means each 10 lakh, we can have about 8 jobs made available in the rural areas. And you can see that the different industries, cold storage, it provides 3 jobs per 10 lakh invested. Whereas aerated water or aerated drinks like Coca-Cola and things like that, or they provide about 14 jobs per 10 lakh invested. Pickles and chutneys, they also provide about 14 jobs per 10 lakh invested. And confectionery goods like toffee, they also have the large number of people employed per 10 lakh invested. Value addition definitely, as I told you, simple water is a good example of value addition in food business, because it has 1 rupee plastic bottle, 50 paisa your RO water, and 1.5 rupees worth of thing is sold at 20 rupees. You are buying that water bottle for 20 rupees. And that means how much is the profit in the food business? Can you imagine that kind of profit in any other business? If the car which cost about 3 lakhs, can it be sold at 6 lakhs? No, it cannot be. But here in food, you can sell it if you can properly pack it, if you can properly present it. You can ask for higher money for it. Just to give an example, it's the example of a cup of tea. When you get that cup of tea from a small teller, you pay 5 rupees. Okay. But when you go in 5-star hotel, the same one cup of tea, it costs about 75 rupees. Why? Do they give you more tea? No. It is sometimes you don't take tea with the milk also there. Some people are with diabetic patients, they will not take even sugar. Only black tea in 5-star hotel, it fetches 75 rupees price. Because that shows that in the food business, the way you handle it, the way you pack it, the way you present it, you make more money out of it. And that is another good example is sugarcane juice. The small thela fellow, he can sell it only 10 rupees a glass. But same 10 rupees a glass, if you can pack it in the bottle nicely and then sell it through the railway station and all those refrigerated containers, so it will fetch about 50 rupees for one glass worth of this thing. Same thing for milk. For example, 50 rupees worth of milk, when you have the what do you call the flavored milk, 200 ml we pay 20 rupees or 25 rupees or 50 rupees for 200 ml. And that one, you can see the cost then for 1 liter, it will be about 100 rupees if it is 20 rupees per 200 ml. That means that is what milk we get from Amul, the flavored milk, 20 rupees per 200 ml. And 100, that means 1 liter, it will fetch about 100 rupees, the price. That is what is the strength of it. You go into the food business, you put all your soul and hard work in that, and process it properly, package it properly, market it properly. I think you don't have to look back. You will be that's what I say, that the food processing industry has a potential to create Ambanis of food processing. Next now. Now I will show some selected innovative technologies which you can consider for taking up it as an enterprise for your future. Soybean and health, we know about it. Because soybean is the only crop which has been approved for health claim in US. Because we know that in our country, health claim can be achieved like that only. Because on the TV, we see many advertisements that just by drinking that particular drink, your height can increase double. But that kind of tall claims cannot happen in US. But in US, the soya has got the health claim, and US FDA says that 25 grams of soya protein per day consumption will keep you away from lifestyle diseases. What are lifestyle diseases? It is the diabetes, heart attack, blood pressure, menopause, and all those kinds of diseases. You cannot have that much trouble with those because of those diseases if you consume 25 grams of soya protein per day. And soybean is such a thing that it is having the highest protein content compared to all our dals. Our dals, they have about 20 to 25% protein content, whereas soybean has about 45% protein content. And soybean can be used as a raw material for making soya milk, can be used for making soya paneer, can be used for making soya nuts, can be used for making soya buddy, and all those different kinds of products can be produced from soybean. And this is the machine which makes it possible. So this machine cost about 3 lakh rupees. Its capacity is about 300 liters of milk per day. And with this investment of 5 to 10 lakh rupees, entrepreneur can earn about 50,000 rupees a month. Because soya milk is enriched with phytochemicals, it is enriched with micronutrients, which can fight diabetes, CHDs, CVDs, osteoporosis, menopausal syndrome, and blood pressure. Only thing is that the what you call the entrepreneur has to take this opportunity to put up this plant, produce very good quality product, and then properly package it and sell it in the to the consumers in the fresh and good quality product. Because what happens whenever you introduce new product in the market, if the first time somebody doesn't like it, he will never take it again. It is not for the old things. For example, samosa, kachori, whatever we consume for breakfast or tiffin, if that is given back to us, we will not stop eating that. But soya milk and soya paneer, if it is given to you for the first time, if you don't like it, then you will not consume it again and tell 10 people that don't consume it. So that is why my advice to the entrepreneurs is to become cautious, that when you make the product, you make it good, you test it. If you like it, then only give it to others. Because soybean has got its own flavor. Groundnut milk also we make out from this same machine. And for this technology, you can't get training of these machines if you go to CFIT Ludhiana and go to CIE Bhopal for soybean. Here they have the 7 days training programs, entrepreneurship development program, in which you are trained or you are told that what are the good advantages of soybean, what is the good quality of raw material, what is the good quality of the end product, and how they are produced, how they are handled. And then you can get the what you call the opportunity to work on these machines. You can get the opportunity to work on the smaller machines in the laboratory to make the laboratory scale the product. And that way, when you go there, when you have 1 week training, when you come out, you are confident that you can set up that kind of industry. So another soybean use is, we always say that soybean should be consumed, but in what form it should be consumed? One form is soya milk and soya paneer. Another form is soya atta, that is flour from soybean. So this is the machine extruder which removes all nutritional factors from soybean, and then after that we add it into the expeller. And when we take out the oil, 70% oil from soybean, we have a medium fat soya flour available. And this medium fat soya flour has about 50% protein content. And with about 50 lakhs rupees worth of investment, one can have a setup to produce about 2 tons of medium fat soya flour per day. And we have a tremendous scope in the country, because our food, we don't eat that much nutritious food, because the quantity of dal we should be consuming, we don't consume. You might be seeing an advertisement nowadays. It is the advertisement of Akshay Kumar. Akshay Kumar, he is advertising, I think, Protein X. And he is telling that if whatever your weight is there, 80 kilograms, then you need to consume 80 grams of protein per day. Okay. But 80 grams of protein, when you have to consume, mind you, that you need to consume, because every source of food gives you the protein. But the highest protein comes from dal, because we are dal consumers. And that way we have to consume 75 grams of dal per day. So that means if we are a family of 4, that means 300 grams we should consume per day. And that means in a month, in our house, we should consume 9 kilograms of dal. But whereas if you look into our kitchens, you will find that we consume 3 or 4 or 5 kilograms of dal. So that means this deficiency of 4 or 5 kilograms, it is killing us every day, day by day. All these lifestyle diseases, whatever we are experiencing today, they are just because we are not consuming enough quantity of protein. And that is why this is a wonderful opportunity to create the medium fat soya flour available to the people, so that they can add it into that wheat atta up to 10%, or any other dishes, whatever you make. If you add 10 to 20% of this, that way you can increase the protein content of the dish. Next is garlic processing machines. These garlics, you know, that we consume every day, and the garlic has got lot many health benefits also. Garlic is wisely used to prevent several conditions linked with the blood system and heart. Garlic is also used for prevention of many types of cancers. And since we are using garlic and all those spices which we grow in our country, that is why our country is better off in fighting with the COVID. Because inside immunity, it comes with this kind of spices. The garlic is one of them. But the garlic we consume always raw, and we buy that bulb every house, and then we keep on cleaning it up every day and something like that. We do not have any processing unit on the garlic so far. So that is what is my advice to the entrepreneurs is that try to see that whatever produce which you are giving people raw, and then they process it at home on the small scale for their kitchen requirement, use going into that business. I think that kind of business has a tremendous opportunity. This is where it is the garlic processing units. The first machine is the garlic bulb breaker. It breaks the garlic into different that curries. And then another one is the garlic peeler. Then it is peeled, for which we do at home, and it takes a lot of time. Then third one is a garlic flaking machine. And then when you make this kind of product, the garlic slices, and this garlic slices, if they are given in the small bottles, 100 grams, 200 grams, airtight bottles, they can keep well for a long time, because these garlic slices, when you make the slice, there will be something will be oozing out. Okay, and that liquid which is oozing out, it gets dried after some time, and then it creates a kind of case hardening effect on the garlic, these things, and that is why they don't further get dried up, they don't get further evaporated as we see in the garlic bulbs, and these things can be kept for a long time and very easy to use, and the housewife will be very happy if this product is made available to her in every household. And this is not requirement only household, but your restaurants, your dhabas, they also require a large quantity of garlic every day to put into their curries. And there, one or two laborers are required to work on that for a whole day. And instead of that, if they can get these ready-made things, definitely they will go for it. Next is mango. We produce 40% of the mango. Mango is the king of fruits. But even then, this value chain we have not explored for the entrepreneurship development. For example, there used to be pickle making in every house earlier. But that time we used to know that Suda used to call it the big एक होता है चाकू जिससे अपन वो काटते हैं, and that used to be available in the villages, or one or two people used to own it, and it used to go to the all households, and they in return they will give to the owner of that equipment some mangoes, green mangoes. But now it is not available, and even the villages, they buy ready-made pickles. And because of that, what has happened, as I told you in the beginning, that we have lost on the byproducts, we have lost on the value addition benefit, and all those things. So if that is done on systematic way by an entrepreneur, so these are the machines developed by Indian Institute of Horticulture Research in our country at Bangalore. This is the raw mango peeler, first machine. In that, you remove the peel of the mango, raw mango, kacha mango. Second thing is raw mango slicer. That means you slice that mango in 3, 4, 5 pieces. And last one is the raw mango cube cutter. It cuts it into the cubes. Once we have this material ready, and you keep it in the cold store at a minus temperature, and if you advertise that you have this, and once you keep it in the minus temperature, you can keep it for 6 months. And similar to, and if you say that you have it, and if you market it, there will be lot many ketchup, that means pickle units who need this. Even the small scale pickle units can come up if they get this kind of raw material, because they, for processing industries, the actually which is grown on the farmer's field is not the raw material for them. If you go to the juicing plant and if you give them the fruits, they will say the fruit is not my raw material. They say you bring me the pulp, I will take it from you. Same thing for ketchup industry. They will always say that tomato is not my raw material. You bring puree or pulp, the tomato puree to me, I will take it from you. Same thing for pickles industry. If you say that all my mangoes you take it, he will say no. I want something like this, which is the intermediately processed and into the cube form. And then if you have it, then even the small scale pickle industries can thrive in our country, which were earlier there in our country. And that is why we see that villages which were richer earlier, they have become poorer. And the cities which were poorer earlier, they have become richer. Because the villages have stopped processing, and the cities, they have started processing. But when the cities, they process it, they waste their valuable byproducts, and villages, when they process it, the byproducts is also available, and the employment generation in the village can give the higher return to the farmer. So similarly, the next one. So this is a moringa processing. Moringa is nowadays, it is considered as a superfood. हर कोई कहता है, और मोरिंगा का ये है कि if you take moringa, I think your HB, hemoglobin content, will go up. It is a very good source of iron. And that moringa processing is very easy. You need to have a dryer, you need to have a grinder, and some cleaning vessels and things like that, you can make a moringa leaf powder, and that can be made into capsules, that can be made into tablets, or there could be intermediary who will make the tablets and capsules, and they will only buy powder from you. And this powder is sold at very high price through maybe Baba Ramdev shops or some other Ayurvedic shops. So this is a very nice and small business which you can very easily establish. And once you have this business for moringa processing, this dryer can be used for drying so many other vegetables. And then you can pack those dried vegetables and bring it to the market. Similarly, some things which are leafy herbs, which are required for masala making. So you can dry them, grind them, and you can sell them also to the masala making industry. Similarly, for tomato, I told you that tomato, the first grade goes for the table purpose, and second and third grade, it doesn't get any price. And that is why it is वो farmer के सर पे गिरता है, मतलब होता है, and then finally it cannot be consumed in the village also, and it rots. And that is why this is a wonderful technology developed by IHR again, Bangalore. So this is the technology. 3 kg of fresh tomato can be crushed, then brought to concentrate, preservatives added, and it comes in the 1 kg tomato crushing. So 3 kg comes into 1 kg, and this 1 kg can readily be used into the curries. Restaurants would like it, housewives will like it, and in developed countries, the fresh tomatoes are very expensive, and these kind of things are very cheap. In US, you can get 1 kg crushed tomato can for 50 cents. Whereas if you go for buying tomato, it will be some 2 rupees for a pound. So that costly is. So in our country also, when tomatoes are very cheap, why can't we make kind like this? And when it is required in the hotels, and Tetra Pak, if you make it, it can be stayed for longer time. But hotels, restaurants, dhabas, and everybody needs it, but it is not available. So this is one wonderful opportunity for young entrepreneurs to go in for that. Preparing beetroot. Beetroot is red in color, and everything which is red, it is high in antioxidants. It is beneficial to blood, heart, and digestive system. It has been regarded as a laxative, cure for breath, coughs, headaches, and aphrodisiac. More recently, it has been advocated as cancer preventive and means of bolstering immunity system. And it comes in the market, we buy it for the salad, we eat only 1/4 portion of that, and rest of that is thrown. So why can't we put this kind of things? Just similar kind of dryer which we have seen in the earlier slide. You have a limited processing earlier, and then dry it in the dryer, grind it, and you get this powder. And this powder can be ingredient in many other things. It can be natural colorant also. And you get this training at CFET Ludhiana for 1 week training on all these technologies. Then osmodehydration of segments or the citrus fruits. Citrus fruits also, the first grade goes for the market, and second and third is rise in the villages. If you get it for 1 rupee kilogram also during the season, if you can get it, remove it, the skin outside layer, and then remove the segments, remove the seeds by hand, have some labor employed, women labor, and then osmodehydrate it. Once you osmodehydrate it, it can be kept for 6 months, and from this you can make a juice later on, because we have to add it into the mixie, add some water, add some sugar, and then grind it, and that makes a pulpy juice out of it. And this is also wonderful small scale industry, and this also you can get hands-on training if you want from these institutions. Then CFET process for mechanical dewatering and drying of onion. Onion is also same thing. If you can give the dehydrated onion to the dhaba fellows, restaurant fellows, and also to the housewives, they will be very happy. They will be glad because they don't have to cut it every day and use it for curry making. And when we use this dewatering technology, you get the juice also. And this juice from onion can be used for making many different products like shampoo, like oil, because there is a mention in the literature that bald fellows, if they apply this juice, they will have the hair grown again. So that means it has that property of growing hair. and that juice is not available unless this kind of industries they come into the being. And when we have this dewatering and then drying unit, then you have that juice, and the juice can be used by the pharmaceutical or the shampoo making industry. This is for pomegranate. Pomegranate, we buy it from the market. When we buy it, we don't know whether inside it will be red or it will be white. And that is why most of the time we don't consume 100% of that pomegranate. If we can get the aerials like this aerials, if we get in the market directly, then the consumption of pomegranate will increase. And this is the simple process we are given at Seafood Ludhiana, by which we can store aerials for 16 days in the refrigerations, and 16 days in refrigerated conditions is fair enough time for transporting it from anywhere where it is produced to the metropolitan cities like Delhi and Mumbai. Hello, is it over time? Hello, hello. Then this is a machine for aerial extraction, developed just for that. And this is a operative cool room, because I was talking about the cold chain. Cold chain is required, but the cool rooms are required and the cold storage is required. The cool room is the natural one, ventilated structure that is operatively cooled. And this is the structure which costs only 1.5 lakhs, and 2 tons of material can be stored in this. And with this, I finish my presentation. My conclusion and recommendations are like this. Please develop appropriate technology for processing and intermediate product development adaptable to the rural locations, and then develop downstream processing to produce value-added products. Strengthen R&D institutes with pilot plants, processing facilities for training, demonstration, and incubation. Set up the facilities for design and fabrication of appropriate process equipment and pilot plants for scale-up operations, and establish agro-processing centers in the production catchment for custom hiring. With this, I thank you very much. And if there are any questions, I will be happy to answer them. And before closing, I would like to appeal to all of you. What is that appeal? Is please consume one seasonal fruit a day. Because if you consume 125 crores people of our country, if they consume one seasonal fruit or one fruit which is available in the market a day, I think that will reduce our post-harvest losses tremendously. Then greet the people. When you go to the people to meet, instead of greeting card or instead of bouquet, you carry a basket of fruits with you, so that they will be forced to eat those fruits, and you will be helping the country in reducing the post-harvest losses. Okay.
Thank you, sir. If anybody have any question, you can please proceed.
Please join, sir. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir, for your magnificent presentation. We really acknowledge you for taking out time for us from your busy schedule. It's always been delightful to have you with us. We look forward to your esteemed presence again in upcoming programs.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
The next distinguished to honor us with his presence is Mr. Krishna Gupta, founder and MD of Organic Wellness Product Private Limited. Mr. Krishna Gupta is a gold medalist from LIT Nagpur in Chemical Engineering Technology. Has also handled few critical assignments in Europe and USA. From 1999 to 2001, he worked as a project manager for multinational company in Brussels, where his agenda was to improve the level of efficiency in the company. He has written a book named Clear Your Bottlenecks, which is basically devoted to describing his recipe of success. Mr. Krishna Gupta has won many awards like Mother Teresa Excellency Award, Indira Gandhi Sadhwan Award, PhD Chamber Distinguished Entrepreneur Award, the Royal Leader Award, Young Achiever Award, and FedEx Emerging Champion Award. Now I request Mr. Krishna Gupta to take over the session. Thank you.
Sir, unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Kamble, for the invite, and I feel honored to be part of the August gathering. And today I'm here to talk about my business model, which is organic wellness, which is basically a unique win-win business model wherein everyone in the chain wins. If I have the permission, can I show a small presentation which will be very useful for the audience to go through? Can I do the sharing of the file?
Yeah, sir.
Okay, give me a sec. Let me just bring the presentation.
Yes, ma'am, it is visible too.
Yeah, okay. Sir, you may start now.
Perfect. Sorry for this confusion.
No
This is a
problem, sir.
unique model and unique health products. I'm going to share with you a practical aspect of this unique business model. Go to the next slide, ma'am.
Yeah.
The contents of the presentation is, vision, the impact of the business model, what we are doing, a plant certification milestones, and organic wellness stores, what we are operating with. Yes, please. Next, ma'am. Our vision is together, let's heal the world. And the purpose of our vision is to make sure we are in a win-win situation where everyone in the chain, starting from Mother Earth to the farmer, consumer, employees, partners, oblique associates, everyone wins. Because as of now, most of the businesses we operate, we are into I win, you lose. Today, we see many challenges across India, including the current agitation, what is going on. Certainly, what our business model works is make sure everyone wins, and I'm going to explain to you bit by bit how this business model impacts everyone positively in the life in day-to-day affairs. Next, ma'am. Now, when you see this impact of organic wellness business model, you will see we have set up our business in a remote village of Babai, which is in Bundelkhand, where farmers' plight is, drought is there, lot of unemployment, no infrastructure. Even today, after operating for almost 5 years in that area, still we don't have proper internet connectivity. We do not have even transportation over there. Still, we have to send our goods to about 40-45 kilometers, and the nearest big city is Jhansi. Forget about railway station. Forget about the any other local infrastructure which is required. Even for a small nut, we have to go 40-50 kilometers or maybe beyond. Power is a major issue. Now, customers' dilemma is health issues. Food has to be authentic organic product. And when we come to organic product, the major challenges people face is the trust factor. Because every second company is coming into the business with organic business model, but no one is even knowing where the villages are. And what we have done is we have made sure our presence is in a remote village. We work with the marginalized poor farmers in these villages. The plant is run by the unemployed youth of the local village. 100% of the employment is from the local village, and that is where it is impacting the model. The reason being, we have given employment to the unemployed in the village. Farmers are getting due for the amazing crops we grow with them, be it moringa or different herbs, which are fetching them premium prices. Customers win because they get authentic organic products at a reasonable prices. We are exporting to over 28 countries across the world. And of course, it's a win-win business model, as we say. You can see the factory in the background. You can see the meetings with the farmers in the background. And you can see one of the pictures. We have the range of organic wellness products. Next move, ma'am. Next slide, please. Now, this is the plant which is set up in about 2.78 acres of land. This is the gallery for the visitors and the material movement. And since there is no power, we have taken 33 kVA direct line so that we don't pollute the environment. We don't use diesel generator sets because we are there to make sure that the environment stays pure and clean. Next, ma'am. We have all possible quality certifications nationally as well as internationally, be it India Organics, be it EU, be it USDA, making sure that our products meets all national and international certifications. And the pride we take is these products are being made by the local village team members in village Babai who never ever thought they will be doing even a job, because no factory would even venture going to this remote village where the infrastructure literally doesn't exist. Next. Just to give you some milestones, we had done the company registration on 28th of January 2015. We purchased the land on 26th August 2015. And this is where we did the commercial production startup within 6 to 7 months of buying the land. This was a real unreasonable work we did. We really did very well. Our range of products include teas and tisanes, food supplements, superfoods, spices, commodities, raw oils, dog superfood, Danpanchand, and personal care products. We have about 180 to 190 products as of today. We are exporting to over 28 countries. To name few is US, Canada, Germany, Poland, Czech Republic, France, Finland, to name few. It's 100% self-funded and 100% local initiative taken by Organic Wellness. Next, please. We get a lot of PR because of the initiative what we have taken. It really excites people that how can someone sitting in Gurgaon reaches out to a place called Village Babai, which is about 500 kilometers, with zero infrastructure. Certainly, it's of great interest, and we are able to make this plant run successfully. We are able to produce world-class products from this remote village, and certainly it's a great excitement for people to understand or know our story. Next, please. We have also tied up on the front end with the women entrepreneurs across India. What we are doing is we are creating organic wellness stores with a small investment of even 50,000 rupees. You can start a store even from your home. This is one of the first store we created in a small city called Kota in Rajasthan. And a women entrepreneur started this with a little investment of about 50,000 rupees. And today we have got 53 such stores operating across India. Our target is to have about 5,000 women entrepreneurs associated with us across India, so that we make sure we are linking the marginalized farmers, unemployed youth in the villages with the women power across India, because most of the women, they are talented. They are looking forward to the opportunity with low investment and high returns. And this business model gives them a return of net 30% on their investment, literally month over month. And women are excited. They're able to use their knowledge and talent for many reasons they were not able to use. Next, please. This is the look of a store from inside. This is just 6 feet by 6 feet organic wellness store being operated in a city called Kota in Rajasthan by a women entrepreneur. You can see how beautiful the product range looks. You can see how beautiful the store looks. And no wonder these stores are profitable from day one. Next, please. We have got a lot of creative ideas. We do a lot of creative talks. We do promotions digitally. Social media is strong because of the story of what we carry. We are invited at various forums to share what we are doing. And certainly whenever we speak about the business model, people do get excited. People do like what we are doing. And many people out of each such initiative get added with the company, and they are our real strength, because every time we share our story, more and more people get excited to get associated with the business. Next, please, ma'am. You all will be excited to know that even our company's business model is being taught as a case study in ISB colleges, Ivy League. You can read this case study more. You can note down the link and take it further. Yes, please. Next, ma'am. You can see the links below. You can see the links. I don't want to take too much of your time. You can see the links, click on them, and you will be able to see more story about organic wellness. If you have got any questions regarding organic wellness, now I'll be very happy to answer them. In short, this is what organic wellness is: a unique business model. Everyone in the chain wins, and with a total focus on India's legacy of 5,000 years, bringing it for the benefit of every consumers across the world. If you got any questions, I'll be too happy to answer them.
The next distinguished to honor us with his presence is Dr. Prabodh Halde. Dr. Prabodh Halde is past president of Association of Food Scientists and Technologists of India CFTRA, Mysore, and a renowned food scientist with well-rounded multidisciplinary experience. He is currently working in Marco as a head regulatory in R&D. He has a passion to nurture the young entrepreneurs. Prabodh has Dr. Prabodh sir has enormous practical and industrial experience in the area of quality and food safety. He has total 25 years of string industrial experience in area of food safety and quality and research. He is on various boards and renowned trainer in the area of food processing, food safety and startups. He is central advisor member of FSSAI, Government of India, as revenue of food industry. Now I request Dr. Prabodh Halde sir to take over the session.
Hello, Pramod sir. Hello, Pramod sir.
Hello,
Yes, sir.
sir. Can I start?
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. Yeah, we were waiting for you only, sir.
Oh, sorry. I was waiting for. Can you give me the sharing of the?
Yeah. It was already given, sir. You are the co-host, sir. You can share the screen.
Oh, okay. 1 minute. One minute. Sir, it is shareable.
Yes, sir. You can put it slide screen also, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. That's what.
Okay, sir. Sorry for delay. I think I was waiting for the link and I got the link, but there was some how long I have to keep you waiting? कितना time हुआ waiting करने के लिए?
5 minutes at least. It's okay, sir. It's not a problem.
Yeah. So, respected professors, respected dignitaries, and Kamle Saab, thank you for calling me. All the members who have joined this event, I'm so thankful to you. You came and joined this event. I'm so happy. I will be talking on.
Thank you, sir, and welcome for the conference. And I request you to motivate our student and guide the research scholars and researchers in the area of food entrepreneurship, specifically in agri-food startups. I welcome you, sir, and I hand over this event to you.
Who all are the professor available? Those who have joined, can you tell Kamle Saab?
Sir, actually for this session, Mr. Kishan Gupta ji from Organic Wellness. This is session is specially designed for the food entrepreneurship, and this session started with the lecture of Dr. R.T. Patil sir, that is former director of CFED.
I know Patel Saab. I know him personally.
Yeah, sir. Yeah, sir.
And you are from your professor? Anybody from professor?
Yeah, sir. Dean Research and our HOD, Dr. Ramesh Naidu sir, is there in audience, that is in meeting.
Okay. Okay. I will use 35-40 minutes. Is okay?
Yeah, sir. You have no restrictions, sir.
Okay, great. So don't worry.
Yes.
Thank you, Kamle Saab. Thank you, Kishan Gupta Saab. Thank you, Professor Naidu sir. All the professors.
Yes.
Today we are completed our 7 months of pandemic. Pandemic started in India from March 23rd. Okay, English is okay language और हिंदी is okay language. कौन से लैंग्वेज में आप सुनना पसंद करोगे?
Sir, English, sir.
Okay, great. So every problem there is an opportunity. You remember there was a World War 1 and World War 2. So many problem occurs and so many innovation happened. So every problem there is an opportunity, and this pandemic in area of food processing will bring so many innovations in the small sector, medium sector, and big sector. We will see area of startup. When the word startup comes, I have one questions and I want this interactive session. There is a chat box. Please put your queries in the chat box, and I request Kamle Saab at the end of the session, please open the chat box and ask me the questions.
Already chat box is open and given the instruction to all the participants to ask the question in chat box. We will read out after the completion of the session, sir.
Correct. How many of you have seen the movie one day prior to exam? Put yes, no in chat box. How many of you have traveled in second class compartment without reservation? How many of you have stolen the mango from the neighbor tree and eaten? How many of you have traveled alone without taking friend and mobile? If you have done anything out of this, you have a X factor, and this X factor called startup factor. So you have that kind of daring. It is called the risk taking ability. So friends, startup required apart from technical inputs. Technical inputs can be borrowed, but the confidence within cannot be borrowed. That has to be developed. And that's why I'm going to give you some inputs which will be useful for you. When I was a student in food technology, I completed my food technology from Parbhani. And after that, now I am doing my second PhD from MIT Pune. When we refer any book, we always use the foreign author. And foreign authors, but at the same time, somehow our technology, education system ignore the knowledge of Indian wisdom. And that has been systematically developed by Britishers, and we are still in the British mentality. We ignore the science of technology of Indian tradition. COVID has proven that traditional knowledge, traditional products are much more immune boosting food and have much more scope. You know, there was the King Nala who has written a book called Nala Pakadarpan. He was the first food scientist of the India 7,000 years back. The book comprises of 11 chapters and each chapter is a piece of science. Science of food, preservation of food, processing of food, vegetarian food, non-vegetarian food. Those who are interested, please download from the internet. It is a free of cost. Ma Sita, she was a best chef. Sita ki rasoi. Bhim from Pandavas, one of the brothers of Pandava, when he was in Agyatwas, he has written a book when he was a Ballava in Virat kingdom. He has developed the product called Avelia, which is the South Indian dish, and invention is credited to the Bhim. Shah Jahan was a great cook and he has written a book called Nuksa-e-Shah Jahan. You may be not aware, Gulab Jam, Naan Katai, all developed during the Mughal era, and various biryanis. Hyderabad is famous for biryani. It is being developed by during that time, and India was so much of developed. Interesting story on sambar, what we eat during our idli, dosa, a sambar dish. Story goes like that. Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj, son of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, visited Tanjavur, same place where today Indian Institute of Food Technology resides. The king of Tanjavur then was Shahuji Maharaj, who was a cousin of Sambhaji Maharaj. 1675, when he visited, he was offered with the dish they were knowing as a amti, is a Marathi dish. Unfortunately, in place of curd, they added lime water, the imli water. So the dish got prepared in place of amti, a different dish, because there was a imli ka pani, tamarind water, and that dish was named in honor of Sambhaji Maharaj called sambar. Very interesting. I always believe as a food science should be taught with the history, with the evolution of the food, so that the students will understand. We can learn so many things from our history. And many traditional wisdom can be reinvented with the modern science. Food scientist, I was told that 60% are the students. You should be doing your research on the traditional food. There is a huge scope in the traditional food recipes. Who will work on son papdi? Who will work on rasagulla in word? Will American work on rasgulla? Why they should work on rasgulla? We should be working on rasgulla and our Indian traditional products. So my appeal to you, please start working, take your objective in your thesis of MTech, MSc, PhD, one of the traditional wisdom. Bigger the crisis, bigger the innovation. I personally believe this COVID has given a good opportunity to innovate something in the food area. As I told you, Second World War, First World War has killed more than 70 million people. However, most of the patents has been filed during Second World War. Most of the innovations has happened on the Second World War. Penicillin was invented because of the Second World War. Ball pen, computer, ready to drink coffee, ready to drink Coca-Cola, jet engine, canning as a technology. Food processing as a branch has developed because of the World War II. They want to carry the food with the soldiers, and the US army particularly, they were carrying the can. They were carrying the various product with their army, and that's why the food processing has developed. So it's very interesting evolution of the food processing, and we need to understand bigger the crisis, bigger the innovation. In during this pandemic, number of products which came into the market, just count how many products came into the market. Even my company has launched more than 10 products. If together we see in this year 2020, in spite of this pandemic, more than 500 products got launched in the market. And some are real innovative products. I always amaze Uber, Ola does not have their own car. Facebook does not have their own server. Alibaba, Amazon do not have their own market yard. Airbnb does not have their own rooms or OYO rooms. Apple does not have manufacturing facility, but they are the biggest brand in that respective category. Can we do something in the food area? It is called as a disruption, innovation, and collaboration. I appeal to all these startup people, entrepreneurs, those who are joined this program, students. I appeal to you. Can you make something different to your own fraternity, like what Ola has done, what Make My Trip has done, what Facebook has done? Can it happen to the food industry? It's very, very important. If you don't do, if we don't innovate, what will happen? What has happened to Ambassador car? It was number one consistently for 25 years. Kodak film, number one film company consistently for 30 years. Pager, HMT watch, Duke's Cola, Ravalgaon chocolate. Where are they today? What they have missed out and why they are not today? Answer to this question will come if we understand what is the importance of innovation and staying in the race. Only innovation is not important. Timely innovation is important. Staying in a race is important and relevance is important. Please note all the students, relevance. The word relevance is so important to you. You need to be relevant to the organization. Otherwise, you are out. Honorable PM has launched the Startup India in 16th of January 2016. Startup, every country, there is some kind of actually there is some kind of new businesses, and the startup has been defined as a new business which has less than 5 years of age. So startup is something as a new business having less than 25 crore turnover, less than 7 years of establishment, and it is a registered firm like partnership firm or public limited company or LLP, but no proprietor firm. So anybody wants to start, please note, do not start as proprietor firm because it will not be considered or eligible as a startup. So these are the requirement of startup. Unfortunately, this data is of last year. Entire 100 startups, less than 8% startups are in area of agro, food and beverages. After this pandemic, so many, I am supporting more than 600 startups. How many startups? 600 startups. I am seeing that in this pandemic, so many people are moving to the food startup because in this pandemic, what we have seen, everybody wants to eat food. Everybody started doing the cooking at home, learning from YouTube, and intermediate products have increased. So startups coming into the food areas are huge in this pandemic. I would not surprise when we will see this chart maybe for 2021 January. Number of startups in area of food and beverages and agriculture must have increased double, 100%. What are the components of startup? There are 5 components of startup. First, you need to have a unique idea. Is there is any definition of unique idea? No. There has to be the idea which is relevance to the market. Need, market need. There has to be need. Then finance, because finance is like oxygen. Supply chain, which includes quality, production, distribution, and regulatory compliance. That product should be legally allowed in the Indian market. These are the startup ecosystem requirements. And the person who does this, he is the entrepreneur. Entrepreneur, I am going to talk about this character, entrepreneur. A person who has watched the film one day before the exam. A person who has done some kind of internship during the semester break. A person, a lady or whoever, male, female, has supported their parents as a pocket money by doing some job, has supported mother, father during the exam, a person who know the importance of time, the person who knows the importance of money, and person who wants to do something new. He is an entrepreneur. Anybody who has an idea, but unless that idea converts into the kinetic energy, in reality, there is no startup. Startup in a dream is no startup. I know many friends comes to me and many startup people come to me with the good idea. Any product which get launched, somebody will talk to me, oh boss, this idea was given, this idea came to me and then I didn't launch, and then so always these people give the excuse. There are two kind of people in India. People always have solution in advance, but they never implemented that solution. Second group of the people, unfortunately less than 10%, they don't discuss, they implement. You have to decide which way you want to go. You want to go to the people who are only talker, or people who talk and implement. So we have to convert potential energy into the kinetic energy. If you have idea, better implement or help somebody to implement. Food processing is having a huge value. It is 16 lakhs crore industry. 75% industries in unorganized and small sector. So small sector have huge scope, medium scale, small scale. You also can join the wagon and you can supply in your community whatever is the community wants. Startup should not be done on something outstanding and something far reaching. Startup should be done with the demand supply, because startup cannot sustain for 5 years. You have to make money. Identify the opportunity and start supplying. Small example, ID fresh atta mix, ID fresh idli mix, dosa mix. They have exported worth of 100 crore in this pandemic. Can you imagine if we are exporting to US? Mustafa, a dear friend of mine, he is the owner and MD of that ID Fresh, 800 crore company now. Small idea converted into the big success. But you required a person called entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is the person who takes the risk. Who is the entrepreneur? First thing, he is a positive person. He is a part of the solution. He is not a part of the problem. There are two kind of people. People number one, who always finds a problem in every solution. People number two, always finds a solution in every problem. You have to decide what kind of people you are surrounded by or what kind of people you yourself. So two things. You should be positive, and not only you being positive, you also should be surrounded with the positive people. There are section of the society will always give you negative. Don't do this, don't go here, don't do that. It is like that. It is a failure. System is corrupt. Professor is bad. Syllabus is good, not good. College is not good. All the negative things. They will never give you any positive stories. A common trait of the entrepreneur, he is a positive person. He is an original thinker. He is a competitor. He does not shy away on the competition. He is direct. He don't talk on the back. There is a very good saying, a great mind discuss ideas. When the two people comes, you must be meeting with so many friends. Observe the people, what they talk. If your person, if your friend is coming and talking about the ideas, he's a great person. If person is coming and talking about event, he's a mediocre. But if the person is coming and talking about the people, he is the mean mentality person. Great mind discuss ideas, mediocre mind discuss events, and small mind discuss about the people. Is like female quarreling at the municipality, this water pump, and they are talking about somebody. We should avoid such kind of people. We should avoid such kind of company. and stay away from such kind of suckers who are negatives. A person who takes the responsibility of the own action is a great leader. Failures do happen. It is a part and parcel of your life. You should have a courage to say, yes, I have made a mistake. Most of the time, we always say, if something goes wrong, oh, I have not done that. He has done that. She has done that. I am always correct. I may be failure, but I am always correct. This arrogancy is not good. Entrepreneur is somebody who takes the responsibility. He will say, yes, I have made a mistake. He always have a good time management. He always sets the higher goal. He is not happy with the short. He is like a Sachin Tendulkar who always goes for the century. There is no clapping at 30s and 40s. Clapping comes only at the century. One has to do the century. So that should be the goal. It should not be like, or you have done a great job, you have scored 30. What is 30? Why not 100? There is a difference between only risk taker and entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs are high stake risk taker, but calculated risk. They only take the calculated. They don't take a lottery. They are not in a lottery and gambling. Gambling is different. They are also risk taker, but they are blind risk taker. Entrepreneurs are calculated risk taker, thoughtful risk taker. Now, one more important thing. You may be the first generation entrepreneur, or you must be in making of the entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs are made, they are not born. It is very wrong to say Tata's son will always become the entrepreneur or Ambani's son will always become an entrepreneur. No, you required qualities to become entrepreneur. There are attributes which you can cultivate. As a team, as your group, your entire group can convert your entire group as an entrepreneur if you have cultivated this kind of ideas. You encourage each other. You bring some kind of confidence. By the way, not more than 10% people can become an entrepreneur because by nature, 60% of the people will go for job. They will work for government or they will work for somebody because they do not have that ability to work themselves. Only 10 to 20% in any population can work independently. Now our duty is to help those 20% people so they can generate more job. If they become big, we can work for them. If I don't know how to drive, I can help somebody to drive. This is very important. So either you become entrepreneur or you help somebody to become entrepreneur. Always respect the small seller, a person who is coming to you for selling something at your gate, maybe a food item like sharbat or papad. Do not discourage these people. Always talk to them nicely. Engage with them. Talk to them where you get your product from, where you source your product from. Help them. Entrepreneurs are not born, they are made. And it is not a made because of the family, it is because of you. You are also responsible to become an entrepreneur. Support. We need to support the system. Self-confidence is so important. Do not discourage your startup friend. I have seen so many examples. The moment they do some startup, their other colleagues, the senior colleagues, uncle, auntie, they will tell you how it is so difficult to start. And they will give the story. My cousin has started and he broke. And he raised the finance and 20 lakhs rupees loan is on his head. And then his marriage was also broken. So after hearing such things, stories, an entrepreneur will never venture into the entrepreneurship. If you cannot build up the confidence, do not discourage. This is very, very important. As an entrepreneur, if you want to become an entrepreneur, you have to do a lot of self-sacrifice. You cannot have 9 to 5 job. It is a 24-hour job because it is a passion for you. So inner motivation is important. So please, whether it is an entrepreneur for the job, entrepreneurship for the business, entrepreneurship for the studies, you have to get involved. You have to do sacrifice. It cannot be Saturday, Sunday then. It is like a passion. It has to be with enjoyment. And what time? 24/7. Mentor is most important aspect in your entrepreneurship journey. I'm personally mentoring some students. I'm personally mentoring some startups. And I have a big community which we have a number of mentors who mentoring other people. So mentor is a person, his value can be only known because you become a successful. In absence of that mentor, you are a failure. He is an agent without going into the reaction, increases the rate of reaction. He is an active agent. So do not lose the mentor in your life. If somebody approaches you as a mentor, if somebody comes in your life, or because he's your professor, or because he's your elder brother, because he's your whoever, respect the mentor, because losing the mentor is your failure, not the mentor's failure. Startup has 4 phases: discovery, unique idea, validation of that idea, maintenance of that idea, and scale up of idea. I always get such kind of queries. Sir, I'm a great cake maker, and my mother and me, we make a cake of 5 kg a day, and we enjoy cake making and we sell this. So can I register as a startup? Startup is not a passion only. Startup is not a kitchen business. Startup is a scale up. If end result of your startup after 2 years is not a scale up, then it is not a startup. It is just a kitchen garden. Then you enjoy that. Passion is passion. Unless you convert passion into the business, it cannot be called as a startup. There is a big myth. People believe that, oh, I'm so good at cake making, I will whole life I will make a cake. Startup will never do that. Startup will do the cake making initially, and then they will hire a cook to make the cake, and the person will go for selling. Startup cannot do only one job at a time. Startup has to do all the job and make that as a business model, a successful business model. This is my own analogy and it's very important. I have not borrowed from anybody. It is my last, whatever the year of experience, 20, 25 year, when I've seen so many successful or failure business. There are 4 stages: concept, validation stage, growth or scaling, and maturity. Every stage there is one driver, finance and risk. We should understand what is the risk of each stage. When you have a new idea, you are at the concept stage. A driver is innovation. The idea has to be unique, which is basically connected with the market demand. Risk is copycat. The moment you bring the idea, 10 people copy it. At the pre-validation stage, it's called as a value of death. 67% of the startup fails at that level after 1 year. 67%. But if you have a belief, you continue. If you leave it, then you become a part of the 67. People leave that venture at that time saying that, oh, I cannot continue. When the business starts growing, then there is a value of death and route to market. The scale up is important. You need to take the professional. The one mistake which we generally do, we want to work with our relatives, we want to work with our brothers, and we don't take a professional help. So at the growth stage and at early market stage, you need to take the expert. In the startup, you should know that you have a limited knowledge. So knowledge can be borrowed by the higher ups. If you start giving knowledge to everybody and you believe that I'm the king, I know everything, he cannot do the startup. You should know that I have a limited knowledge. I'm not great at marketing. Let's take the marketing help. I'm not great at media. Media, I will manage from outside. So start giving to others. Then only the person will become more successful. Our technical people develop the arrogance that we know everything. We know everything syndrome is such a killing syndrome. It kills. And then there is no sustainability. And then finally, maturity or exit and profitability is the driver. What are the startup ideas? Again, this is not a copy paste slide. This is my own wisdom. Personalized nutrition. I personally feel in next 5 years, personalized nutrition will become a big business. Organic, natural, traditional, vegan. These are the new trends which are coming. E-platform, the new trends. Export. China is going away from the market in many countries, and those Indian product will have huge export potential. Home cooked food. You go to five-star hotel and people will order, I want home cooked khichdi, home cooked type. So this is a new era. People will start asking for home cooked food because in pandemic, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, we have eaten at home. So our taste buds have developed like a home cook. So we like that. Safe and new package, plant-based meat, mocked meat, intermediate product. Like I have learned so many new dishes of YouTube, and I required a sausages, I required a salad, I required a cut vegetable. Who will supply? So this intermediate product will have huge scope again. Packed versus loose, functional food, nutraceutical, cloud kitchen, high protein, multigrain, cereal science. These are the new trends. So if you are doing your PhD, please think about these areas. Convenience food, ready to eat, ready to cook, on the go, immunity boosting, mental health, cut vegetable, Ayurvedic food. Okay, I have not written here. Ayurvedic is going to be the big business now. I always tell Naidu sir, my appeal is to you that start Ayurvedic course, food technology Ayurveda in your institute. I think that will be the first time in India. I was actually sharing the thought with Ayurvedic college. Every Ayurvedic college should have a food technology. Every food technology college should have Ayurvedic science. Because unless we marry the Ayurveda is going to grow anyway. So now there is a chance when you want to partner or you don't want to partner. I think food technology, we have a limitation in jam, jellies, and all those products. Can we venture out into the Ayurvedic products and give them a high-end technology, which we learned in the food technology, like pre pressurized pressurized heating, microwave heating, SCF, all those high-tech processing techniques can we use in Ayurveda, extraction techniques can we use in Ayurveda and give them a better product? Can we convert nutrition into the Ayurveda? These things are very, very important. Take one example of our masala box. Guntur is famous for masala. This masala box is a magic box, has home of nutraceutical. It contains cumin seed, turmeric, tamarind, red chili, coriander, masala, which gives you so many antioxidants. Antioxidants fights with the free radical. Free radicals are responsible for the disease. So basically, antioxidant helps you to fight with the free radical and disease. So many thousands of years, India is prohibited, protected because of so many illness and diseases because of this masala box. This is a great nutraceutical products. You go to Japan, nobody eats this. Go to US, nobody eats this. They take the pill, which is 10 rupees, 20 rupees. Masala comes so cheap. Small, small statistics, consumption of turmeric in India and Alzheimer disease. India consumes turmeric. US does not consume turmeric. Look at the Alzheimer disease. They have 1.82% population suffering from the Alzheimer. Alzheimer is the disease of you, all your neurons, which are responsible for the memory. You loses your memory. In India, only 0.3% population is having Alzheimer. Credit goes to the curcumin, which comes from the turmeric. A great help. This kind of study should be conducted. Virgin coconut oil contain MCT, medium chain triglycerides, that is responsible for immunity, that is responsible for long hair, that is responsible for the brain development. So many things like our spice root, like fish. So it is connected with some kind of activity. The definition of wealth has been changed to H now. Wealth has W has been replaced with the H. Number of bank credit cards are not important. How is your health? After this pandemic, whenever you call, now I am plus 40. Whenever I call to any of my colleague, I only ask two things. How is your health? How is your family health? That's it. Nobody is asking what bank balance, which country you are going for the travel, which new car you purchased, what new flat you purchased. No discussion. Only two things. How is your health? How is your family? Students, innovation is important. If you don't innovate, you evaporate. Write it down this on your big wall. Innovate or evaporate. If you do not innovate, you will not be there. Do not worry about your future. This is for the startup. This is for the student. Research and development has huge value. India have more closely 2% spent in research and development in food area. I am expecting there will be 4% investment of the total Indian GDP of food into the research and development. Today it is only 2%. So there are good jobs in R&D. Number of jobs recruitment happening in R&D is number more. So go for higher studies, go for MTech, go for MSc, go for PhD. Start is important. It is not about when to start. Start is important. Play on your strength. In pandemic, we have learned one thing. You are not alone. You are with the team. Help each other, trust each other, grow together. Sharpen your skills. If you are good at writing, sharpen that writing skills. You should become a Sachin Tendulkar of your area. Every student, God has given you something. Identify that thing. Do not copy from somebody. Your friend is like having good in the fruits and vegetable. Your friend is good in the say machine learning, or your friend is good in the mechanics or good in the equipment. What about you? Identify, talk inner, and think about what you are good at. If you are a manufacturer, stay in the manufacturing. If you are a marketer, stay at marketing. These inputs are for startups. Do not try to venture. So many people come to me, sir, we have a great manufacturing unit and we are supplying to a company and now we want to start our own business. It is good to start, but to start any new brand in India, you require at least 1 crore rupees as a marketing budget. So starting your own brand is so difficult in this context. At the pandemic time, investing 1 crore from the startup, I think it is important. Unless you have a surplus money or your uncle Sam in US and who is supplying, do not start unnecessary just to compete with somebody. Having own brand or having own manufacturing, it is all about a mix and matches. Students, this slide is for the students. You got a good future. During this pandemic, what we learned, what we understood, food is a business. Everybody was buying the food, everybody was buying medicine. So you got a good future in food and nutrition. Go for higher education. As I told you, R&D is required higher education. Take projects which are relevant to the need. Foreign education is going to be the cheaper, so you can eye at it. Research in area of traditional food, there is a good scope. Your value is in your hand. Government jobs are going to be. FSS has recruited 450 new food safety officers. So look at the government jobs. Start preparing if you want to go for government jobs. Technical jobs in the food industry is going to increase. Look at that. These are the areas which are not normal areas in the food processing. These are the new coming areas like traditional food industry, research, higher education, abroad, academia, techno marketing, regulatory, startups, high-tech agriculture, high-tech horticulture, food safety supervisor, food safety auditor, quality auditor, consumer insighting. Consumer insighting is also the good area. Organic certification. Organic is also the good area. You should learn organic. Government jobs, food equipment, bakery, nutrition, science. These are the areas which as a student you can make your career and you can learn. Friends, today everybody wants to look good. Everybody wants to look healthy. And food is responsible for making you healthy. And healthy food making is responsible for the food technologist. The nutraceuticals are the new area. FSSAI has launched the nutraceutical, which includes health supplement, nutraceutical, FSDU, food for special dietary uses, food for special medical purposes, probiotic, prebiotics, specialty food, and novel food. In startup, the main question comes, where is the money? But do not worry, there are so many things which actually can give you the money if your idea is good. So the money is like oxygen, and to get the money, first start with your own pocket. If you are able to sustain your own startup, ask your parents, ask your neighbors, ask your relatives. That is called as a within your network. If you want to go, then bootstrapping your startup business. So through the Facebook, people appeal. That is also one area of getting into the startup funding. Crowdfunding, bank and government. There are so many. Today morning, I was a speaker in the Agrovision of Nagpur, where Honorable Nitin Gadkari sir was a chair, and I was the one of the speaker in morning today. And APIDA and Ministry of Food Processing has launched so many schemes. So government, there are so many schemes where you can actually find out what is suitable to you. Crowdfunding you can do. Then angel investor, your uncle and aunt staying in US or UK, if they want to fund your venture. Venture capitalist, by giving your stakes and selling your stake and equity and then raising the funds. So many ideas, so many professionals are available to guide you properly, but your startup should have some kind of good attraction and there should be a story. The big part about your startup, there should be story about it. Story means a future story, that okay, this startup will shape up like this and people should believe in that story. So you need to have a good marketing skills, at least about your startup. In our area, when we want to get married, a boy or girl, our parents create a story about it. So it's good looking. If he is a boy, he has a good job, he stays in city, he has a two-wheeler, he has a four-wheeler, whatever is a story. So every startup has to be story to get it properly submitted. So if you want to start as partnership firm or a company, get it registered, and do not start as a sole proprietor. That is a mistake if you do that. And then if you start, this is my own, again, a startup mantra. Startup is a serious business. It is not a copypaste.com. No one should do the startup to copy. My brother has started, I will start. My cousin has started, I will start. My friend has started, I will start. No. If you are making continuous losses, you should know when to exit from the startup. Startup is not a hobby. Startup is a passion with the business acumen. Always recruit the people whom you can sack. Those who are actually a startup or entrepreneurs, please understand this mantra. Do not recruit your wife, brother. Do not recruit your own cousins, where if they are not performing and you have to carry. Can you carry a car with the one wheel is actually puncture? You cannot. So need to take a smart people, need to take a people who work for you. Passion and business are two different things. I gave you the example of cake. Keep finance under control. One profit, you are giving party to your all schoolmates and college mates. No. Keep finance under control. Long-term vision. Startup is a wealth creation. It is not a money-making business. It's not a lottery business. Profit is a byproduct of the startup. You should get a kick out of the startup, not the money. Keep connect with the consumer. You should know what consumer needs are. Keep going and meeting the consumer. Your product may be success today, but what about tomorrow? You should not become like a Nokia. You should not become like a ambassador car. Connect with the consumer. Failure or success are not permanent. This is a journey. You will success, you will fail, but everything is a learning. In the startup ecosystem, there are some success stories. Ritesh Agarwal, 7,000 crore, Oyo room. Whenever you want to book, you book through the Oyo. My own company chairman, Shri Harsh Mariwala, started in 1990 His company size was 70 lakhs. Today, company turnover is 7,500 crore and market capital close to 70,000 crore. A great visionary, great innovator. Parle Agro story of Ramesh and Shona Chavan. My dear friend Viruj Khambata Saab, who is owner of the Rasna. Sadanand Maiya Saab from MTR. Haldiram story. You must be aware about the Haldiram products. Dheeraj Gupta from Jammu Vada Pav. He sold his business. Gaurav Goenka from MD Rajdhani Foods. Then Amul success story. Our late Kurian Saab. Neeraj Kakkar, I happened to be working with Coca-Cola and then he was there in supply chain. He has started a business called Paperboat, one of the successful business model. Then founder of Chai Point, Mr. Amulek Singh Saab. So friends, this is small presentation from my side. I wish you all the best if you are a student for your career. If you are a researcher for your research. If you are a professional for your startup. If you have not planned anything, plan something in the life. Do something because God has sent you. If you have any query, you can contact me. You can follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on the LinkedIn. You can send me email. You can send me on WhatsApp. I am active on the media. And I want India to be real Atmanirbhar. And I have a faith in the students that students can make a great history. Dhanyavad. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your motivational lecture for our students as well as researchers. I have planned to conclude this lecture with my some points, but I hand over this responsibility to students specifically. They will make the comment on your lecture, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for your insights on entrepreneurship and need for innovation. Your talk had definitely given great insights to each one attending this online conference. For the people with great ideas for sustainability and innovation, you will have got great guidance from a mentor. There are many venture capitalists, investors, crowdfunders, banks, family friends who would definitely invest in your idea. Don't discourage yourself. Make your idea into a reality and put into implementation. And for those people who don't have an idea, to start thinking differently to sustain in this sector, innovate or evaporate. Thank you, sir. For the all participants, join tomorrow's session at 9:15 a.m. with the same link.
Are we doing some question answer?
Yes, sir.
Sir, students are afraid about if they are started their business at an initial stage, and if they get failed, they may lost in their careers. So, any suggestion for them, sir?
Sorry, come again.
Sir, actually, students are afraid about financial loss if they failed at the initial stages of their startup.
Failures are a part of the game and do not venture which you cannot digest. So, not to worry, a baby step. See, when we started learning a cycle, if the person always believes he will fail, he will never learn the cycle. He will never learn the swimming. So, startup is also like that.
Yes, sir.
Unless you have a daring, you cannot do that. That's why I told you, in any population, not more than 20% people can venture out. Other people will join a job like you and me. So it is not possible everybody will do the startup. Those who are having that daring, they only can do.
Yes, sir.
So you cannot borrow the daring. It has to be within.
Thank you, sir.
Anything?
Sir, is MBA, one another question. Is necessary to start the business in food processing?
No, not necessary.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. The session is over.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time.
Please send me the feedback on an email ID or my WhatsApp. I will be happy to receive that. Thank
Yes,
you.
definitely, sir.
Sure,
Definitely.
sir. Thank you again.
Our participant requested to join with the same link tomorrow 9:15 for the next session of food safety and public health, and another session is tomorrow, that is sustainability in agriculture and food system. So you may join with the same link by tomorrow also. Please leave the meeting.